Welcome to this daily guided meditation practice. This is the Attentive Mind. My name is Nathan, and I'll be guiding you through this meditation practice today. Find yourself a seated position. Any position works. You can be lying down, even if that works. Really, the goal here is to keep an up or straight back. It helps us breathe easier, so you're not focused or crunched and trying to breathe. And we don't want to be shifting around in the meditation practice. We want to just be still. So just find what works for you. This is also an open eye meditation practice. We don't close our eyes here. But if you have learned to practice with your eyes closed, feel free to do so. There are no hindrances, and it's not really that important here. Just find also what works for you. But if your eyes are open, go ahead and just drop them away from the screen and kind of look lightly downwards. We're not staring or picking a particular spot in the floor to look at, but we're also not zoned out and buzzy. We just have a nice light, clear gaze directed downward. You're in a nice, comfortable seated position. Your eyes are open and down. Just settle. Right here. There's no special technique here. No special experience. Leave alone everything you think you know about meditation. Approach this moment like a newborn baby who knows nothing at all. And leave alone all the things you want to get done today. All the hard problems you need to solve. The people you need to see. The emails you need to write. Just set that aside for now. You can pick it up later. In fact, let go of all your future planning and goals. Don't grasp them. See what happens when you just let them go. And come fully here, attentively to this moment, just as it is. And let go of your past as well. Your story of me, where you were born, your accomplishments, and your mistakes. Neither the past or the future exist now. They only exist when we think about them. Even then, they don't exist. So just leave them alone. Don't grasp them. Give yourself permission to be completely here and now. Give yourself permission to realize this moment just as it is. There's nowhere to go. There's nothing to do and no one to become. Just remain here and rest. What are you thinking about? You planning something? Remembering? Notice how I just interrupted you. I interrupted you having a conversation with yourself in your head. Because the mind doesn't know how to be present. Thoughts are always looking to the future and to the past. But in meditation, we're not here to stop thinking. We're not here to change thinking or to quiet the mind or anything like that. We just learn to stop grasping our thoughts. We leave them alone. Just let them come and go. Don't follow them. And I'm probably catching you thinking again, this is okay. But as an aid in this process of leaving thoughts alone, it's easy or useful to pay attention to something that only happens now, that only occurs in this moment. And that is the coming and going of the breath experienced from the lower belly. Notice how your attention is situated in your head, like you sit above your feet somehow, that you exist closer to your neck than you do to your leg. And see if you can just drop this view down through the neck, through the chest, through the upper abdomen, and into the lower belly, below the belly button. Bring your attention to your lower belly. And watch how this area expands as the breath comes in naturally. And it relaxes as the breath leaves. Stay here. And I'm probably catching you having the conversation again. Bring your attention back to the lower belly. Watch carefully as the breath rises and falls. Come back. Come back to the lower belly. And I'm probably interrupting you thinking again. Grasping your thoughts. But what exactly is grasping these thoughts? What is it that gets lost in thought, then returns to the lower belly? Are you an entity in your head directing attention to the belly, then to thinking, then back to the belly? In the same way you find the breath, find the one that gets lost in thought. What hears your thinking? What hears this voice? Turn your attention back. What are you? Wake up. What gets lost in thought? Look carefully. It's not deep. It's completely on the surface. right, you can look at the screen. It's amazing, this practice. Because when we start the project of letting go of thinking, say, you watch this video and I ask you, bring your attention to the breath. And then you notice it. Oh, there's the breath. Okay. In, out. In, I wonder what's happening to my friend over there. Then you start thinking about something. Get lost in thought, as it's called. And you get so lost in thought, you forget the whole project that you're sitting here trying to pay attention to breathing. And then you come back to the breath. Okay, okay. He said, wake up. Okay, I come back to breathing. Yeah, but I wonder what happens if I didn't even do dinner yesterday. Oh, I forgot about that project. Boom, back to thinking again. See, unless we sit down to actually observe the mind, we don't notice that this is how our entire life is lived. Completely lost in thought all the time. We grasp them. And it feels like it's me. Like every thought that goes to your head, you're thinking about that argument you have with your girlfriend, like, why did she say that? Or your boyfriend, or whatever it is, you just keep going. Like, I wonder if I can ever, I have to go to work, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do that. And then it's just this constant conversation. And it's weird. Because if you were to have the same conversation with somebody else, in the same way you're having it in your head, that other person would be extraordinarily bored. Or if you were listening to a friend instead of your mind, saying the same things your mind is telling you, you'd be bored because it's just repeating the same crap. How dare she say that? You repeat the same thing over and over again as if you were never bored of it. And then what is even the purpose of talking to yourself in your head? You already know it. You don't need to say it constantly. It is actually insanity to be so attached to thinking. It really is. Because there's no use for it unless you need it, unless you're thinking about a problem once and you solve it and you go on. But we don't do that. We're incessantly thinking. We're driving in our car and we're worried about dinner. We're eating our food and worried about the next thing we got to get done. So we live a life in perpetual attachment to the future and the past. And we completely miss this moment just as it is. Now, it's a skill to practice meditation because we have been habituated our entire lives to think, to be completely concerned with what goes on in our head. In fact, this thinking can get so bad, we can be so attached to it, and it can become so negative that we actually physically die from it. Meaning, we take our own lives, which is an epidemic at the moment. I have close family members who have done this simply because the mind is too much. We want it to stop. That's why this practice is daily. This is why I show up for you every day. I'm also showing up for myself. It's a skill to learn. And maybe you've started meditation and you feel, this isn't for me. With anything else you do, it's like as if you pick up a guitar and you try to play it and you don't understand it and it's not working. You're like, I tried playing the guitar, it's not for me. Which is silly, you have to learn. You have to learn how to play. Then you could see the amazingness of playing a gorgeous song in your room. But until you learn the skill, it's a frustration. And it's the same thing with meditation. We can sit there and we're like, oh, my mind is too crazy. I can't let go of thinking. Because you haven't learned the skill. So practice. I'm here to encourage you to practice every day. And not just with these videos. You really want to learn to practice alone, on your own. Stand on your own 2 feet and not rely on the internet to know how to meditate. But of course, it takes time to be patient with yourself. Be patient that the skill of not grasping to thoughts will happen for you. And realize this moment as it is before thinking arises. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for showing up for your life. And I'll see you tomorrow.